Well, joining us now with his reaction is the CEO of the Daily Bread Food Bank, Neil Hetherington. Thanks for joining us, Neil. What are your thoughts on this idea?
Well, Jamie, it's always good to talk to you. It's a novel idea. It's putting American booze to good use in the provinces across the country. Really, what we're here focused on at the Daily Bread Food Bank is having conversations, as we had yesterday and today with the province, about increasing disability rates and increasing affordable housing. So while this would be a good drop in the bucket, it would just be a drop in the bucket that some $600,000, $1 million for food banks. What we want to see really is systemic change. There are far too many Ontarians who are having to make use of food banks. Feed Ontario came out with its report just recently that there were more than 1 million Ontarians who now make use of food banks. In Toronto, 1 in 10 make use of the Daily Bread Food Bank, 1 in 10 Torontonians. And it has never been at levels like this before, so we need to have an all-hands-on-deck effort.
I know we cited some numbers of $600,000 from some of the East Coast provinces, but according to online sources, as of late November, Ontario has an estimated $80 million worth of American alcohol in storage, which remains unsold due to the ongoing trade dispute. How much of a difference would that 80 million make, not only for your food bank, but for many of the others who we've spoken to repeatedly over the last several months?
Well, 2/3 of the food banks across the country are struggling from lack of finances, and so that $80 million would go far. But it would go far just in a temporary situation. Really, I would love to see that $80 million develop $80 million worth of affordable housing, or $80 million worth of supports to those on OW or ODSP. So we would appreciate it. We need it, but at the same time, we're going to remain faithful to the long-term systemic causes of food bank usage and advocate for those changes.
A lot of the decisions that are made at all three levels of government, at the end of the day, a lot of that weight falls on your shoulder. You don't get, from my understanding, any government support from any of these levels of government, but a lot of the decisions that they're making impact on you, and it lands on your desk. So where does this conversation go from here if, like I mentioned, all three levels of government play a role in this, and you're the one, along with some of the other food banks, that have to pick up the slack and feed people, but you guys are running out of money and you're running out of stock?
Well, if we did take that government money, I would think that the government would say, hey, listen, we gave that money to the food bank and therefore we're off the hook. And that's not the case. Providing food charity is a last resort. It's for individuals. And we want the government to recognize their role in building affordable housing and in making sure that people who are on disability have access to incomes that will allow them to thrive in community. We will, at the Daily Bread Food Bank, ensure that every client who walks through the doors in Toronto to get food gets the food that they need. That's our commitment as an organization, and we're going to live up to that commitment. At the same time, our commitment means we're going to press Mayor Chow, Premier Ford, and our Prime Minister to make sure that they are introducing legislation so that when you and I, Jamie, next year have a conversation about food bank usage, I can proudly say those numbers start to decrease.
And I think a lot of people could look at this initiative and say that it's all in good faith. On the flip side, we did hear from one parliamentarian who basically said, because we've pulled all of this American booze off the shelves, a lot of the local producers and brewers and other winemakers, they're actually benefiting when they normally wouldn't because of this. I just want to get your reaction to the other side of this argument.
Well, that is a fact. As the minister stated, there was a 79% increase in purchasing Ontario wines, and that is good for our local economy. We want to celebrate that. At the same time, we're going to advocate for reducing precarious employment across the province. It's an all-hands-on-deck effort. We would like to make use of those funds to purchase food for Ontarians here at the Daily Bread Food Bank and all across the province of Ontario. There's no doubt about that. Those funds are absolutely needed. But you just got to go to the core of who your character is and say, are you willing to give up the ability to advocate as we do without fear or favor of being subsidized by the government?
Neil Hetherington, always appreciate your time and perspective. Thanks for joining us and for the work that you continue to do.
Thanks, Jamie.